patients. Dr. Kara here, nice to see you. I wanted to share something today. I'm hanging out with my skeleton and my awesome spine here. I just had one of my favorite patients leave. I'm finishing up the day in Hawaii here, and I had, almost a tearjerker testimonial from a patient. And I didn't want to interrupt her to get the camera out. I figured I'd paraphrase for you guys, but she really inspired me to make this video because I just don't think we talk enough about the heart in medicine. This particular young lady has traveled thousands of miles, in Hawaii here. I have the blessing to see people from Texas, Colorado, Arizona. I mean, people come from everywhere to go on vacation in Maui. And it's interesting because I'm a traveler myself, and I love to see providers in other countries and states because you just get a different perspective. A fresh perspective on maybe something that's been going on with you. And obviously we're talking about medical. My clinic started out with very strict, high quality chiropractic. And it grew because we could take care of extremities. And a knee problem can be debilitating on your pelvis. A pelvis problem can be debilitating on your ankle. So to be able to do traditional chiropractic, ideally, very well, plus take care of the extremities, we were really something that was a little bit unique. And I got into a ton of sports, a lot of athletes, and what happens is your mind, your habit, your skill set, your balance, like agility, there's a lot of skills that go into a sport to get ultimately timing and speed perfected, because 1 second is everything in sports. And what was interesting was I went back to my school days when I was getting my graduate degree in chiropractic. I was the baby lady because I was pregnant with my son, and who's now 16. And there was a lot of cranial work and a lot of injuries to see with C-section because babies get pulled out by a leg and moms get cut open, and it's really actually pretty aggressive and debilitating for a lot of moms and babies. So the babies usually come out doing pretty good. There are some issues now, but there's little things like the fontanelles and all that. So it's funny that working on a bunch of athletes who get these head injuries that start acting like children, misbehaved children, go back to that same cranial imbalance pattern and just swelling in the brain and overwhelming and trauma due to aggressive, high-click injuries. So I am thankful, my testimonial, just to my accidentally getting into just the right things to become this provider that can really provide a unique perspective for patients. And I couldn't have said it any better. I struggle trying to describe what I do to people because over the years it has morphed into something so dynamic that the best way I can say is just full body. We treat all of you. And that's the easiest way to say it. And this patient so gracefully said it with true gratitude. I mean, her and I were almost tearing up together because if it's like having a car with a mechanic, you got to put the right fuel in, and your steering needs to be okay, and the frame is aligned so you don't have a salvage title, and you have oil changes and transmissions, and then you have different kinds, right? You have automatic or stick. It's complicated, and we are like 100 times more complicated than a vehicle. So it was super nice as a doctor to be appreciated. And I wanted to share that with patients out there. If you're not getting much out of your providers, you're probably not appreciating them. Because as a doctor, I would bend over backwards to do anything for a patient that really realizes that I'm putting my heart into this treatment. And in the last 16 years, I've been able to put a clinic together with providers that not only love what they do, they love what they do. They spend hours of the night and all their free time in seminars with me, learning the cutting edge stuff that's coming. I mean, we went from pediatric to advanced adjusting to teaching courses to extremity work to balance to sports chiropractic to emergency treatments. and severe injury treatments. Then we went into Carrick Institute and a lot of the neurology and co-treated with functional neurologists. Then we started doing the programs ourselves to understand in depth how the brain is coordinating all this beautiful stuff. And then we realized when your hardwired nervous system goes down that your hormones try to take over. And then we realized functional medicine's where it's at because people have deficiencies and toxicities, and we're using up the vitamins and minerals that we think are there to produce more of us as we rest at night, but we don't have what we need, and then we're using it up faster to get rid of these chemicals, and we don't know the chemicals are there because we don't know they're being sprayed out in the environment. So we started moving into toxicities because people got into emergencies with all these things leading up to it. So in 16 years, you can start seeing how a snowball builds into this major snowman. Just like my practice has started from this wonderful family practice that treated a bunch of babies and moms to this dynamic diversity of family practice, from especially with athletes and injuries, because with the car accidents and you've got grandma, grandpa, kids, mom, dad, this is serious. Everybody needs help, and everyone's an athlete in their own life. Life is actually pretty demanding. So you are all athletes of life. And if you weren't prepared, it caught you off guard and your weaknesses showed up. That's what an injury is. And I just really had to share how gracefully this patient had put this to me, because she was in so much gratitude and just said, I've been looking and looking and looking and looking for someone who cares about me as much as I do. And I found it. And that's really it. That's the essence of it. If you care, you keep looking. We don't say we don't know what the problem is. We say, we know who to send you to that's going to know even more. That's our response. And when you come see us, you don't just see Dr. Kara, you see my tribe. Surround myself with doctors who know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, validating specifically what's going on, right? Doing the right tests, doing the right seminars to be aware of what we're doing so you're not getting outdated medicine. These things are important to me, that you're getting solutions that are efficient, and we treat your pocketbook like it's our own. Again, it goes back to caring. It's just been a pleasure. Being a doctor, having so many specialties, bringing the team, having the team behind me that I have. And this is a big year. This is a very, very, very big year. I turned 40 this summer, and my gift to myself is preservation. I tell my patients all the time, you have to take care of yourself. So my doctors that have been training with me for years now, they're ready. They're ready to take on my new patients, take over. They have more certifications than I do in a lot of categories, and we have been a killer dynamic team working by my side for years, and together we've been able to make a difference in people's lives. Right now, if you're a patient and you want to share your story, please send a quick video to us. You know, with things online now, it's really easy. Every video we get, we're putting into a drawing. We're gonna give away something cool. We're chatting right now about what exactly that prize is gonna be, that it's gonna be a good one. And so by sending in the video and a quick written, gratitude, we're just gonna pay it forward and share. We might be so moved ourselves to post it online, and doctors get yelled at and people get angry about waiting, or there's an emergency or stuff happens and people get rude and demanding and yell, and it's very stressed times, and it's so warm and comforting to me to know that in times like that, my patients stop me and pull me aside to let me know how we have impacted their lives. And I would have never known if she didn't tell me. And when she told me, I got to reflect as a patient how grateful I was when I was in doctor's offices and they were training me. My mentors are in my hands, in my mind. They've taught me so much, and I could die tomorrow. And all I want to do is pass it on to the future doctors out there. So those of you who are doctors in school right now, you're doing apprenticeships, your associate's places, your students from my book, Succeed as a Doctor, your your patients or a lot of you are business owners and leaders, and I want you to use these tools and take what I learned and give it to everyone, because this is a classic example of that exponential growth of something that's so profound, which is gratitude. It's not positivity and happiness, right? Sometimes that's a fantasy. It's just plain old, wow, caring. Wow, caring. So it's rare nowadays to have quality and caring. Everybody's trying to do quick and easy and more and cheap, or be the most popular, or get the most reaction out of people, and all of that is short-lived and unfulfilling. This caring thing has really been something just profound. So this patient, you know who you are. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And the rest of you, send us yours. I want my doctors to know what type of impact they've had in your life. I want to know what type of impact you've had in your life. You guys hear my stories in practice all day long, about the doctor that fixed my hip, and the doctor that taught me amazing extremities, and the doctor that showed me functional neurology, and the doctor that showed me all the advanced cranial work, and all my functional medicine mentors. I mean, it's just awesome to be able to care about what's going on with you. And we have made the biggest impact with our curiosity and our studying and then our applications. So this gives us an opportunity to be inspired to keep going. And we look forward to our fun giveaway. We want to, get you guys into drawing and do something fun for just lightening up our day also. So thank you so much. Thank you to all of you that have sent us all these patients, all these years. I mean, some of you have sent us 20 clients. I mean, that's a big freaking patient doctor hug right there. I mean, that is the highest compliment we can get as a provider. You recommending your friends and family to us, coworkers, because together we're teaching people that going through life crooked and putting yourself last and overworking and not giving yourself what you need to get through the day, and being confused about what's going on with you, and not trusting your providers, and not wanting to go to get a bill, and all of that kind of stuff that's going on in medicine right now has created a situation where we're all afraid of a virus, or we don't feel healthy enough to get out into nature and do stuff. And that fear starts to melt away, and comfort comes in when health is there. And if you go on Google right now, you don't have hundreds of millions of people clicking on people that got well during a pandemic, people that are healthier during a pandemic, people that lost weight during a pandemic. So this gives us an opportunity to be thankful for people who have put in the effort and taking care of themselves. And there's something in common with them. They're in a state of gratitude. So we'll continue to dedicate my life and my practice to this. And I'm doing it through teaching. So I will work normal 8-hour days now that I'm 40. It'll be very hard to see me in the evening, and you won't see me working on Mondays anymore. But on those days, I'll be taking care of myself, so that I will be here long into my 80s, adjusting my families. I want to see my grandkids, and making an impact on human performance in the sports industry long after most doctors quit, because I took care of myself. And there's nothing more fun and more rewarding than hearing your stories. So I look forward to that. I love how you guys, thank you so much, to another 40 years. Woo!